Hey, welcome to Coffee, Coffee, Coffee. So we had heard that coffee grounds, old coffee grounds, could be used as a deterrent to snails and slugs. And we were trying to figure out what could we do with all of our leftover coffee grounds. So we decided to put it to the test.
Right. Yeah. And so I was especially interested in this because the kids and I are starting a garden for the summer. And I was skeptical. You know, you see all these like lists of things like natural ways to keep out this or keep out that. And I had heard a long time ago about, I think, coffee deterring ants. And I'm pretty sure I tried that one and it did not work to my memory. That was years ago. But so I just kind of discounted this. But we decided, hey, let's run an actual experiment. We had some pineapples growing out in the backyard, and we noticed that there were lots of little snails on them. So we grabbed some of those and decided to put them to the test.
That's right.
So at first we got some styrofoam plates. We had a control group because that's important.
Right. Control group.
Yeah. If you're going to do any experiment, you need to have a control group. So there were like 3 snails on the control group plate, just a styrofoam plate with a piece of kind of rotten overripe tomato. And then on the other plate was another piece of that same overripe tomato, but with a barrier of coffee.
Right.
So the idea is, well, they're going to want to cross the plate and get to the...
It's delicious, right?
Yeah, that's
overripe
what we had
tomato.
read, that like they love tomatoes. Well, what happened on those, both the control group and the experimental group, they both like went around the rim. There was one snail out of each group that just like it went up to the top and went around the rim. It was
trying to get out. Yeah,
like trying to get out of the plate or away from the plate. So then we decided, let's try putting them into a container.
Smaller area
So that, because my thought was maybe it's too far. Maybe they really can't smell the tomato across the plate. I mean, I don't know. I'm a human size, right? Yeah, like
I could barely smell a tomato.
Right. So with the smaller container, we did pretty much the same thing. A barrier across the thing. Didn't really have any other. I mean, it was the same thing. They tried to go up to the sides, and we also added some yeast and water. And a little bit of sugar, and mix that up because we've read that slugs and snails really love yeast. Yeah. So
at that point, the one of them in the container with the coffee, like immediately when I added the yeast and water into the other side, he turned around and started going towards it, like towards the coffee and toward the yeast. But he
turned around
180.
Yeah, but we couldn't still quite tell. And eventually they went over the sides again,
going up the wall
escaping.
And trying to escape.
So then we thought, okay, so since we can't really entice them as much as we thought we could, right?
Here's some tomato and yeast water, snail. That wasn't working.
No, it was not. So we decided to put the plate and then
circle.
Make a complete barrier around. So instead of, being able to get off onto the, sides of the plate, they would have to cross over the coffee in order to do so. And we knew that they do like to do that. They like to
They were trying to get away.
The edge, yeah.
They got to get away, get to the edge, whatever they were trying to do. We knew they would do it.
And so what we observed was that they would not cross it. One of them, or actually maybe 2 of them, kind of got towards it and even kind of like stayed right there at the edge, but they would not cross it. Right. They went back the other way.
It looked like one was even like picking the pieces of coffee up with his mouth and like looking like, I don't know what he was doing, but they would not cross the coffee.
Yeah. And there's been some studies done apparently where, like the caffeine might be part of it.
I thought it was the acidity.
Yeah. Well, that might be another part of it. And another thing I read said that it was like the feel of the actual coffee grounds that they don't like against their skin. So
that one was rubbing it all over himself, it seemed like.
Yeah.
He's like, I got it.
I don't know. Maybe he was trying to get it off of him, though.
That's true. He's like freaking out, but in snail motion.
And we can't.
It just kept sticking to him. And we don't speak snail, so we didn't know.
And neither did the scientists. So
Right.
nobody really knows. But it does seem to work. I mean, the kids are definitely going to use coffee grounds around all their plants. So
it was an interesting thing to study and find out whether it is accurate or not. It at least worked in this experiment. And we hope that you find that helpful and then you can employ that tactic. I don't think it could hurt your plants to have it on the outside.
To be fair.
Well, if you get it too close, it's going to be acidic.
Coffee is acidic. Well, I mean, different plants have different sensitivities. So you might want to, just be a little bit cautious.
We are not horticulturalists or botanists
or gardeners, really.
Gardeners. So take our advice with a grain of salt, but don't put that salt on your plants.
Except for on the slugs. It kills them.
But then if you get too much salt on your plants, it would kill your plant.
Yeah, soldiers used to do that. They would sow like an enemy's filled with salt.
Salt, just like sprinkling it.
Yeah, so that they couldn't grow food.
Hey, that's pretty good. Pretty good plan.
It's terrible. It's inhumane.
That's true. That's why there are no wars fought on American soil.
What?
Anymore.
Why not?
Because then they can't come over here and poison all of our crops.
Oh, I see. Okay.
No, I don't think we do that anymore. Well, I was never trained to do that.
No.
Sowing salt into foreigners' fields.
No.
All right. Well, we are going to enjoy our iced coffee here with our coffee ice cubes, and we hope that you guys can enjoy your coffee or your gardening, whatever it is you might be doing. Thanks for joining us. Until next time.
Keep grinding.